say Kaddish Rabbanan. The Dvar Halacha is in memory of Dr. Katz's brother, Ben Meir, Ben Rav Meir HaKohen. So anyway, we're speaking about Terumah. Terumah is the 2% that you're supposed to give to the Kohen. So let's say you take, there's 100 boxes of tomatoes, and you take 2 boxes and you give it to the Kohen. Unfortunately, after you separated it for the Kohen, some goy or some sugar that came into the company and mixed all the boxes together. So you don't know which one is the 2% that you gave to the Kohen. Now what's the problem? The problem is that according to Torah, the 2 boxes that you separate for the Kohen is called Terumah, and if a regular Jew eats it, it's a death penalty. Or if he eats it unintentionally, he has to pay the value plus a 5th. So it's a whole... So normally, the way it goes is, when it comes to kashrut, it's called 1 to 60, which is, if you have 60 times the amount of the kosher versus the non-kosher, it's good. So if I have a pot of soup and I have milk that fell into a pot of chicken soup, if there's 60 times the amount of milk versus the milk that fell in, it's called batel. It's nullified. But
the other way around. 60 times the chicken soup
versus the milk, it's batel.
You said it right.
It doesn't matter. If I said it, you know what I meant, right?
Right.
Okay. By Terumah, it's 1 to 100. It's not 1 to 60. You got it? So if I take a pot of Terumah, of soup, and some Terumah, some tomato, I put a tomato in. If the tomato is Terumah, I need to make sure there's 100 times more soup than the tomato.
But Rabbi, it cannot be.
Why?
Because you already put aside 2%.
One second. So normally, if I have 2% that I put away for the Kohen, and then it gets mixed into 100 times more than the 2%, got it? So if let's say 2 boxes of tomatoes, which is 100 tomatoes, mixes into 100 times 100, which is 10,000 tomatoes.
But Rabbi, it cannot be.
Why?
Because if you started with 10,000, then you have to give 2,000. I mean,
200.
So it's always the ratio is 98.
Yeah, but here he separated 200. Then the 200 that he separated got mixed up in the 10,000. It's called meduma. Okay. This, I just want to say, this mix-up is good if it's not in boxes. In other words, if you have 10,000 tomatoes in a big pile, and 200 tomatoes fell into 10,000, no problem. But when you have 2 boxes that are distinct and separated, and this is 2 cases for the Kohen, boxes cannot become nullified to boxes, because it's called a davar mesuyam, a special distinct thing, and you have a problem.
The quantity is much more.
And therefore, what you got to do is you have to sell the entire 10,000 tomatoes to Kohen for a cheaper price, because the need for Kohen food is less than the need for Israel food. So you're just going to lose whatever it is, and you sell to the Kohen minus 200 tomatoes, which belongs to the Kohen anyway. So you sell to the Kohen, you say, I want to sell you 9,800 tomatoes, and you pay me the value that a Kohen would pay, which is cheaper, because he's his not need, and therefore it becomes a problem because it's meduma.
Yeah, but you take them out of the box.
You got what I just said?
You can take them out of the box.
If you take it out of the box and you
mix them
mix
all
the
up.
tomatoes all up, then you're not allowed to do it. But if you did it, then it becomes nullified.